Have you all been watching the changing nature of my drop paper? I'm not much one to do drop papers, but I tell you, I have been doing a lot of painty projects lately, and I have been getting lots of gorgeous drop paper, which is something very unusual for me. I usually just use wax paper as my drop paper. And I usually get something like this, which I do save and use as collage fodder. However, look at all of this gorgeousness. And let me tell you, there's 3 or 4 sheets front and back of painty goodness like this. I kind of want to update you where I'm at on my project where I'm following along with Dede Willingham. She's doing a magazine playground project. She's got a longer name for it, but I'm just calling mine a tag-along project. And I have been busy in this magazine. Well, these magazines. I have gone ahead and glued 5 magazines together, 3 Cappers Farmers and 2 Midwest Living, and I've been painting out the pages, and I've been making good progress. I did change this out a little. I found it very interesting after a while. I don't know why, but I could wipe off my ink tints off of this page. Now, I doubt that I can do any more, but I took a wet towel and wiped a lot of the ink tints that was on here off, and I got a very muted background, and I'm much happier with it. And then I came in with some doodle dots around the edge. So I'm much happier with this pseudo faux-like stained glass who, what, when, where, why, just kind of an inspiration page. But I have been busy painting and painting and painting out the text of this because I want to get it ready to do my imagination prompting, mind mapping exercises on these pages. And I can tell you, it's working. It's already working, and I'm just painting pages, but I've already come up with so many neat ideas, and I'm working on something right now, but I'll go into that a little bit later. I want to show you, I've been painting pages, and I've been trying to draw off of what Dede suggests is pulling colors from the picture. Now, I didn't do it on this so much, but as I got more into the project, like there's some yellows in here, and there really were yellows in here, and I pulled it off. I wanted a bright page. I wanted it cleared so that when I do writing on it, I can see my writing. So I've been doing, look, I went completely red here because of the red barn. So if I write on this page, it's going to have to be with yellow or creams or whites or something like that. Or even a light blue or green, I guess, would work. So I've been painting pages and painting pages. This is one of my favorite ones. I did this on Mother's Day, which was just a few days ago. This one I completely grayed out. So, and it's surprising me how these pages are holding up. Now, I've been following along Dede's YouTube. She Ustreams, and then she uploads her videos to YouTube, and I watch them on YouTube at my leisure. I don't have the time when she does her Ustreams to join her in the Ustream. So I do appreciate it, Dede, if you're watching, that you do upload them to YouTube, because then I can just follow along. I follow along. I watch for half an hour or so, and then I'll come back when I have free time and pick up. I get so many ideas. See, this was all about bees and honey, and I put gold on here. So I've got quite a bit done. I think I'm probably about to this point at the beginning, and she suggests skipping around, and I've got a lot of pages to do. Look at, I'm leaving these, so I really do like these. These are inspiration pages. I think this is probably all in this section. I have had to heal some of the magazines. I've used mailing tape. I know Dede does this too, and I'll come back to that. I want to show you what's happening here. Let's see. I don't think I have anything in here that I painted. Let me get to my next section in the middle where I've been doing some painting. In here, I've done some reds. Yeah. Here we go. Get starting with this corn. Purple corn from the purple from the blue corn. And I could go back in and lighten this up if I wanted. But here again, I could use, I'm liking, I'm watching her video today where she's talking about her desk journals. And, but in that, she also goes into her little mini magazine image playground journal, and she's using ink on her pages, and she's writing with the ink dopper. And I'm going, get a fine line paint applicator. So I may write with my fine line paint applicators on these. And look, a white would show up very nice. So I haven't got to that point yet in doing this project. I do want to get these pages painted, but it is taking a significant amount of time. But I'm enjoying it. And it is inspiring me. Look, this is all about quilting. So, yes, I can tell you, I'm already inspired. Is there a page in here? Yeah, these were classifieds. Look at this, candles. And I'm leaving the Capper's Farmer is such a beautiful magazine if you're a country person. There's no way I'm going to touch that. It's perfect the way it is. And it gives a nod, I say a nod, a thank you to the original publication. And here's where I've had to heal it again, and I want to come back to that. I want to show you what's happening. But I'm continuing painting. I am using the images here. Using the images. Look at these feet at rest. And I do some more in here. I'll mark my finger there. I don't think... See, there's whole sections here that I need to paint out yet, but I wanted to stop and show you where I'm at on this, and yes, I am working on it. This is a Christmas issue of the Midwest Living, and so, look, I've got greens and reds here, and I think I pulled the tan off of this because I think I was doing, and I'll show you, I'm doing another book, but I had the leftover paint in there, and I pulled it over here. It does kind of go with some of this in here. It does not go. And when I get to doing the actual artwork on this, or whatever we do, even the writing, whatever I do on here, I can do in a red fine line paint applicator. Do red. So I think I've got some more painty papers. Yeah, I do. Let's just skip this section. There's whole sections in here that yet need to be painted yet. And I'm working on it. Look at the baby. Cute. Pinks and tans, of course. So, lavenders, blues. All I kept here was Satisfy Jour. And this was largely a text page with marketplace information. In the Midwest Living, they have all these listings of celebrations that are probably 3 or 4 years old. They don't mean anything now, but I'll probably save images like this. Would be a nice image to save. And then you go clear toward the back. The last one, which is a Capper's Farmer, I believe. I've done some more. So I do skip around when I'm painting these pages because Dede suggests doing that, even when you're working on it, but I'm feeling like even when I'm painting on it. So I painted these out, and it's fun to paint these out. it's fun just to get your brush and paint them out. And I do find this magazine is holding up better than I thought it would. I thought this whole thing would probably fall apart on me. So I am getting some nice, let's see, I skip a section in here. I skipped this because I want to read about this. My grandpa or my great-grandpa, I have to verify that, was a cowboy. And he, in the 1800s, probably after 1850, between 1850 and 1880, something that he went on cattle drives. It's kind of like a family legend, a family story that was passed down to me. So I may say this whole thing. I may even say the text, I don't know. But I do want to document about that, about my grandfather in here. So I've just kind of saved that out. Haven't done anything to that. But then, look, see, I'm painting out. Beautiful little train here. Remembering the most. So, and then I paint out, I think, until I get to the end. So, there's something that I want to show you. And I'm going to put my magazine up like this. And I'm thinking that you can see it. Where you see these two gaps here, but I think you can see it fairly well. These two magazines are the Midwest Living magazines. These three are the Capper's Farmer. Now, when I put these together, when I glued them together, I know I had them all even glued spine to spine, but they pulled apart. They've just worked each other apart, and I think it's just the stress of the pages. And I have gone in, and that's where I put that tape. Where did I put it here? I can probably find it if I go this way. Here. But what I'm finding is, I'm wanting this, I'm thinking this whole thing's going to pull out. See, it's pretty insecure there. And what I'm wanting to do is to glue that back in there. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have to get some E6000 and clamp this shut, glue it, put a good, and there's a gap here. There's plenty of a gap. But it's right where I put this tape. I might have to remove the tape. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to go in this area right here and put E6000, and I might have to even do it on, but see this page here, well, yeah, I guess he belongs to Midwest Living. And then we start the Capper's Farmer. This is the end of the Midwest Living and the start of the Capper's Farmer, that I glued these two magazines together. So the two magazines are glued together, but the Midwest Living has worked itself loose. And I'm wondering, I don't know if it's going to work to put E6000 in there. I don't know whether to try to cut this loose. I hesitate to do that, or whether just to put some E6000 right down in here, close it shut, clamp it like this, and clamp it, do one section at a time, and put it like this. I can't weight it down. I can weight it this way, but I don't think weighting it this way is going to help. It's got to be weighted this way. And I'll probably have to prop this up and just let it dry that way, and hope that that is enough to hold that magazine in there. And if it works on that one, see, I'm not even sure it's going to work, because it needs to go. It needs to go way in there. I can push it in there, but will it stay after I've pushed it? That's the thing. maybe if I put strong rubber bands around it to hold it. You know, that E6000 does not, you have some play with it while you're gluing it. And maybe if I put some strong rubber bands, I do have some book bands around it to hold it. That's what I'm thinking. And then after that one, if that one works, then I'll tackle this one. See, this one's doing the very exact same thing. Now, I might have to split this tape, because you can see the tape right here. So you can see I taped it down there to hold the magazines together. But I might have to split the tape. I don't have any reservations of doing that. And then taking this magazine and putting the E6000 in there and clamping it shut and making sure it's all shut again. But I do like the journal. I like it a lot, and I think once I get all these pages painted, I'm going to be so inspired. I almost can't wait to start working in it. So the other issue that I had was I got a little impatient, and I wanted to preserve, because this is magazine image like this. This is unprotected, and see, it's already starting to wear. This is just a magazine page that I glued to the back cover, and it's already starting to wear. So I had a dirty paintbrush, and I put some matte medium on it, and it smeared it. And I'm a little unhappy with myself that I did that. It's not unfixable. I've got another page, calendar page, that I could just put right over it. But I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it right now, is I was watching Shannon Green, her Happy Mails. She did a live view stream last Saturday, and she did a technique that I want to try, and I'm going to try it on here. For one thing, this has matte medium over the top of it. This is plastic. If I mess this up, I can take a wet towel and just wipe it off. So I have no reservations with playing with this. I don't know what she used. I'm going to use wax paper. And I believe what she did, and I'm going to use my same dirty paintbrush. This is the brush that I've been using to paint all these pages. It's a cheap brush. I use it for gluing. I use it in my glue books. I use it for gluing. I use it for just spreading paint. But I use it a lot for when I'm collaging, for that type of thing. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take some white, and I believe this is what Shannon did. She just painted, and I'm using craft paint. I'm using craft paint in here. Now, Dede uses folk art craft paint, and I'm going to get some of that. I don't have any. I have some now, but it's all metallic. And I'm just using apple barrel. But I am going to invest in some folk art craft paint. It's a very inexpensive paint. And I'm using white. I'm going to use a little of this. It's a peach color. It says it's peach, but when I mix it with white, it kind of makes it creamy. And I kind of want to get a creamy color on here. Now this is kind of a grayish blue in here. Or more of a gray. I could say a grayish blue. But I don't care about that. I'm just going to mix some in there. This is kind of what I do when I'm painting the papers. In fact, I may... well, no, I'll probably say this. And then this is what Shannon did. She painted her substrate. And I credit this, I don't know if she saw it someplace. If you watch her video, I'll put a link to her video because that's where I saw it. If she saw it someplace, then hopefully she said or left a link or whatever. But I saw Shannon do this during her live stream, and I thought, what an interesting technique. I'm going to try it. And I'm going to try it here. And then you just take and, yes, and I don't know if I want to do it too hard. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That's a little bit too much for me, but I think that I can lift. This is more what I'm getting at. I kind of like what's happening there, but that was almost too much. I do want it distressed. I do like that a lot. But as I said, I didn't have any reservations of playing with this because I did put a sealer on it. So that's why I can go in and work with this. In fact, I could probably, this one's wet. Let's lift some of this. I like this area here. I'm going to leave that. I want to lift around this. Now some of this is from when I did my smearing before. Okay, now I want to try this again. Maybe right in here, just, ooh, I like that. I like that. Yes, I do. It gives it that extra layer of scraped paint, sort of. It's controlling it. Now, I wonder what happens if I go the other way. Yeah, it does go the other way. That's not really what I was after. Let's see if I can lift a little of it. Let's see if I can lift around here. Control this a little bit more. Keep my fleur-de-lis there. Let's do some up in here. Yeah, that's... I could probably tear this in half. But, you know, I'll struggle. Yeah, I like that. I like what's happening with it. So this is a playground. The whole book's a playground, so why not have a playground and try a new technique on the cover? You know, why not just start out with the cover and do a new technique? I ask you, why not? And like I said, this is not my original technique. I saw Shannon Green do this, and she picked it up from somewhere. Hopefully she said, I don't know, I can't remember if she said or not. I was so interested in watching what she was doing. I'm having so much fun doing the magazines that I had to go in, and I'm going to pull the wax paper in here between my pages. That I had to get a gardening book, and I'm doing the same thing too. And yes, I'm inspired. You're going to see me using this. This goes by seasons. I'm through spring, summer, and fall, and I'm just starting winter. So I'm just about done painting out the text. See, I go through and I paint out the text. But see how this is a fall page? So I have a specific thing that I have in mind right now. I've been inspired, and I think I know what I want to do with this. That may change, so I'm not going to say until I get started on it. So that's what I've been doing with these books lately, and yes, Dede Willingham, I give her all sorts of credit for this project. I'm tagging along with her project. Now, what I'm going to do with this, paint's still wet, I'm going to do that technique on my drop paper just because I can. Look at, it did get some off of it, didn't it? Let's do it a little bit more over here on the blue. It's getting pretty dry. I had some paint left on my paintbrush here. I'm going to smear it on this wax paper again. Now I'll put it in the water. Let's try this again. Let's try it this way. Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yep. So I'm going to put this wax paper over here and just let it dry for the night. It's time to turn off the studio lights, but look at this. Look at this. I did this technique, this fun weathered look. Yeah, very cool. I will see you on the next page.